Hey, baseball fans. Welcome back to Tits and Streams, your go-to channel for daily baseball predictions. I'm Koken, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop on today's top matchups. Before we dive into today's picks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest predictions. If you enjoy our content, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love baseball and sports betting. Our channel relies entirely on your support. We don't have any sponsors, so every like, share, and comment helps us keep going. If you'd like to support us even more, consider donating by pressing the thanks button under this video. We love hearing from you. Drop a comment below. Your feedback makes our channel better. All right, let's get into today's predictions. Today we have predictions for 4 MLB games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Baltimore Orioles and Detroit Tigers. This Sunday's game between the Tigers and the Orioles at Comerica Park is shaping up to be a crucial matchup as both teams enter with plenty on the line. The Tigers are locked in a late-season playoff push, trying to snag that elusive wild-card spot, while the Orioles are stumbling at a time when momentum is everything. Looking at Baltimore's recent form, things haven't been going smoothly. After dropping 2 of 3 games to the Red Sox, they managed to scrape a win against Detroit on Saturday with a late 3-run burst in the 7th inning, sealing a 4-2 victory. But, let's be real, this Orioles team has been losing steam, a worrying sign given their collapse last year during the wild-card round. Right now, they're trying to avoid a repeat, but with their performance trending downward, it's not looking good for them. On the other hand, the Tigers are doing the opposite. They're heating up at just the right time. In their last series against the Rockies, Detroit took 2 games before falling in a tight 4-2 game on Thursday. On Saturday, they gave Baltimore a run for their money, putting 2 on the board in the 9th, but couldn't quite complete the comeback. Still, Detroit's fight is evident, and they've got their eyes set on catching the Minnesota Twins for that final playoff spot. Let's talk pitching. Cade Povich gets the start for Baltimore, and his last outing was anything but pretty. He gave up 4 runs in just over 4 innings against the Red Sox, pushing his ERA to a rough 5.91 for the season. Povich hasn't been able to find consistency, and his last 3 starts, with an ERA of 5.28, only tell half the story. 28 walks and 11 home runs allowed this season are major red flags. For Detroit, Kiter Montero takes the mound, and he's been one of the few bright spots for the Tigers' rotation. Montero was brilliant in his last start, pitching a complete game shutout against the Rockies, allowing only 3 hits with no walks. That's the kind of performance the Tigers need as they make their playoff push. His season ERA sits at 4.88, but he's been much better recently with a 3.93 ERA over his last 3 starts. He's coming through when it matters most. Offensively, the Orioles' bats have gone ice cold. They're hitting just .29 over their last 10 games against right-handers, and even worse, a miserable 150 against left-handers. Compare that to the Tigers, who have been swinging well, hitting .269 against righties in that same span. The Orioles' bullpen has been another sore spot, posting a 5.16 ERA in their last 10 games, while Detroit's relievers have been much sharper with a 1.75 ERA. The Orioles might have had the upper hand in recent head-to-head matchups, winning 7 of the last 9 against the Tigers, but Detroit has a knack for shining on Sundays. They've won 21 of their last 29 Sunday games, and I believe they'll improve on that stat here. Baltimore's fading momentum, combined with Montero's solid pitching and Detroit's consistent fight, puts the Tigers in prime position to take this game. My take, I'm backing the Tigers to pull off the win. Montero's in great form, and with Baltimore's struggles on both sides of the ball, Detroit looks like they've got the edge. This is the kind of game that can keep their postseason hopes alive, and I think they'll rise to the occasion.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the St. Louis Cardinals and Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays and Cardinals are set to square off, with both teams looking to salvage something from a season that hasn't lived up to expectations. The Cardinals, while showing improvement from last year, have struggled to stay consistent, much like the Blue Jays, who have endured a season filled with ups and downs. Toronto's attempts to break things down and rebuild have been tough on the clubhouse and the players, and it's reflected in their erratic performances on the field. At one point, the Cardinals seemed like they might be contenders this season, but as the year dragged on, their weaknesses started to show. Their bullpen and starting rotation have been shaky, and Paul Goldschmidt's early season slump certainly didn't help matters. The team dropped some winnable games early in the year, and those missed chances are now coming back to haunt them as the season wraps up. Looking back at yesterday's game, the Cardinals' offense struggled again, managing just 2 runs in Saturday's matchup. The pitching wasn't much better, surrendering 7 runs, and they'll need a much stronger performance today. Kyle Gibson pitched 5.1 innings, allowing 4 hits and 1 run, but the Cardinals' bats just didn't come alive. St. Louis is currently averaging 4.08 runs per game, while their pitching staff is giving up 4.53 runs, ranking them 24th in offense and 19th in pitching across the league. Alec Burleson has been a bright spot with 21 home runs and 73 RBIs so far this season. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays are riding high after a 7-run performance yesterday. Davis Schneider had a monster game, contributing a home run, 3 hits, and 2 RBIs. Toronto's offense is averaging 4.24 runs per game, while their pitching is allowing 4.57 runs. The Blue Jays' offense ranks 18th in the league, while their pitching is 21st, with a negative run differential of 0.333, placing them 20th overall. For this matchup, the Blue Jays will put Rodriguez on the mound, while the Cardinals will turn to Miles McCollum. Rodriguez has had a tough go this season, with Toronto losing all 10 of his most recent starts. Although Rodriguez hasn't been credited with the loss in most of those games, just 3 to be exact, the team hasn't found a way to win with him on the mound. He has a 4.42 ERA, having given up 10 home runs and recorded 75 strikeouts in 73.1 innings. Rodriguez is a rookie with plenty of potential, but his 4.85 ERA over his last 3 starts shows he's still adjusting to the big leagues. Mikolas, on the other hand, isn't a rookie and can't rely on that excuse. His recent outings have been far from impressive, allowing 6 earned runs in his last start, followed by 3 and 4 in the previous 2. He currently holds a 5.55 ERA with 110 strikeouts over 155.2 innings. Mikolas has surrendered 23 home runs and 24 walks this season, and his recent 4.02 ERA over his last 3 starts suggests he's been getting knocked around a bit. Looking at the offensive numbers, the Blue Jays come into this game batting .275 against right-handed pitchers over their last 10 games, while the Cardinals are struggling with a .227 average. On the bullpen side, the Cardinals have the upper hand with a 2.91 ERA in their last 10 games, whereas the Blue Jays bullpen has been shaky, posting a 5.89 ERA over that same stretch. All things considered, both teams have been letting too many scoring opportunities slip by, and the pitching hasn't been able to hold up in key moments. With both starters struggling and the offenses showing potential, I'm leaning toward this game going over the total. I'm taking the over 8.5 total runs for the Blue Jays versus Cardinals matchup. The third prediction for today is for a game between the San Diego Padres and San Francisco Giants. Sunday brings the final clash of the season between the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres, and with the season series knotted up at 6-6, it's do or die for the Giants if they want to avoid being swept at home. The Padres, of course, are in the thick of the National League wildcard race, but the Giants have plenty of motivation to avoid letting their division rival complete a sweep in front of their home fans. A win here would be a confidence booster as the Giants aim to end the season on a positive note. The Padres, with an 84-65 record this season, have been on a tear recently, scoring 15 runs over their last 3 games and putting up 4 or more runs in 5 of their last 7 outings. That kind of offensive firepower has been crucial in their recent success, as they've won 9 of the last 11 games when they managed to plate at least 4 runs. Manny Machado has been the leader of this offense, tallying 151 hits and 97 RBIs, while young stars like Jackson Merrill and Jurickson Profar have combined for an impressive 295 hits and 167 RBIs this season. The Padres are clicking at just the right time, but a sweep won't come easily with the Giants determined to avoid going down without a fight. San Francisco, sitting at 72-77, has had a rough go of things lately. They've been blanked in their last 3 games and have only managed 3 or fewer runs in 6 of their last 9 contests. This recent slump has cost them, as they've dropped 5 straight games when scoring fewer than 3 runs. Despite this cold streak, there's plenty of talent in the Giants lineup that can get hot at any moment. Matt Chapman leads the team with 134 hits and 73 RBIs, while Heliot Ramos and Michael Conforto have combined for 203 hits and 123 RBIs. While the offense has been in a rut, this could be the game where they turn things around, especially with Perez showing some vulnerability lately. On the mound for the Giants will be Landon Rupp, who has spent most of this season coming out of the bullpen. His most recent start, however, was a solid one, as he tossed 5 innings and allowed just 2 runs against the Brewers. Rupp's 3.41 ERA and 33 strikeouts in 31.2 innings show he has the ability to be effective in short stints, but the question will be how deep he can go in this start. As the Giants face a must-win game, getting length from Rupp will be crucial, allowing the bullpen some breathing room to close things out. The Padres counter with Martin Perez, who was acquired from the Pirates at the trade deadline to solidify their rotation. While Perez has been steady with a 3.41 ERA and 28 strikeouts over 31.2 innings for San Diego, he's struggled with the long ball, giving up 7 home runs since joining the team. His ERA has ballooned to 4.91 over his last 3 starts, showing some cracks at a critical time for the Padres. With Musgrove and Darvish now back in the rotation, Perez's role could be reduced if he doesn't deliver a strong performance here. Offensively, the Giants have struggled mightily against left-handed pitching, batting just 150 in their last 10 games, while the Padres have hit 255 against righties over that span. However, both teams have had their issues with lefties, as San Diego has only managed a 185 average against southpaws in the same stretch. Both bullpens have been strong, posting sub-3 ERAs over their last 10 games, but the Giants' recent struggles at home, with a 2-7 record over their last 9 games in San Francisco, are concerning. I believe today is the day the Giants snap out of their slump. They've been in this position before, and with pride on the line, I expect them to rally and avoid the sweep. With Rupp showing promise and Perez struggling to keep the ball in the park, I'm backing the Giants to take this one. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Milwaukee Brewers and Arizona Diamondbacks. The Milwaukee Brewers and Arizona Diamondbacks clash in Game 3 at Chase Field, with both teams gunning for the postseason. The Brewers, currently sitting at 86-62, have been a bit inconsistent lately. While they've scored 20 runs in their last 3 games, they've also struggled offensively, managing 3 or fewer runs in 7 of their last 9 games. That formula hasn't worked well for them, as they've lost 4 of their last 6 when failing to cross the 3-run mark. William Contreras has been their offensive spark, leading the team with 157 hits and 88 RBIs, while Willie Adams and Bryce Terang have combined for an impressive 272 hits and 160 RBIs. On the other side, the Diamondbacks stand at 82-66 and have been more productive at the plate, scoring 23 runs in their last 3 games and 4 or more runs in 5 of their last 6. Arizona has won 5 of those games when reaching the 4-run threshold. Ketel Marte leads the Diamondbacks with 134 hits and 85 RBIs, while Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Eugenio Suarez have teamed up for 264 hits and 162 RBIs, showing they have the firepower to make a deep postseason run. Now, on the mound, Zach Gallen will take the ball for Arizona, while DL Hall gets the nod for Milwaukee. The Brewers, having all but locked up a playoff spot, don't have as much pressure on them. They're merely counting down their magic number. But the Diamondbacks? It's a different story. They're neck and neck with the Padres, Mets, and Braves for that wild card spot. And with just a game separating them, every outing feels like a must-win. 2 bad results could knock Arizona out of the race, but given their recent playoff experience, you can't count them out just yet. Looking at the pitchers, Hall, who was acquired in a trade from the Orioles, has shown flashes of potential, but hasn't lived up to it. He's allowed too many home runs and hasn't been able to perform consistently, especially on the road. He's given up 11 runs in less than 20 innings away from home, and 15 runs in total over 33 innings this season. While the Brewers are hopeful for his future, Hall hasn't found his rhythm just yet. In contrast, Gallen has been dominant for the Diamondbacks. Yes, he's had some rough patches, but he's also thrown shutouts in 3 of his last 4 starts. His most recent performance was stellar, allowing just 2 hits against the Rangers. He's got a 3.69 ERA this season, with 126 strikeouts over 127 innings, and his ERA over his last 3 starts is an impressive 2.81. From a hitting standpoint, the Brewers have struggled recently, batting just 172 against right-handed pitchers and 198 against lefties in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks have been far more efficient, hitting 254 against righties and 282 against left-handers in that same span. The Diamondbacks' bullpen has been shaky, with a 7.50 ERA in their last 10 games, but they've shown signs of improvement. On the other hand, the Brewers' bullpen has been lights out, posting a 1.08 ERA over their last 10 games. The Diamondbacks had a tough loss yesterday despite putting up 8 runs. They can't afford to let these games slip away, especially at home, if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. The big question is whether the Brewers can get to Gallen early and force Arizona into their shaky bullpen, or if they'll have to battle late. I'm leaning towards Arizona taking this one. Gallen's form and the Diamondbacks' need to win should see them get the job done today.